Hi, my name is Jeroen Mulder, and I'm the author of the book Mastering Multi-Cloud Architecture and Governance, which is about to be published in December of this year. So we're talking mid-October when I'm recording this. So the big question is, why did I write that book? Well, I've been in IT now for over 20 years, the last 6 or 7 years or so in cloud technology. I'm actually head of the applications and multi-cloud services of Fujitsu in the Netherlands. And over these 6 or 7 years, I've collected quite a number of books. Welcome in my little home office, where I've spent most of the days currently. And I'm standing in front of one of my bookcases. And this is just a small collection of it. So what do we have? We've got AWS certification guides. We've got cloud computing design patterns. We've got VMware vCloud Architecture Toolkit, VCAT, which is a pretty old book, but still very valuable. Enterprise Cloud, we've got the exam guide for the Azure AZ300, by Sjoukje Zaal. Still wondering where she gets all the time to write all these books, given the fact that I've been doing more than half a year about just one book. We've got security books, Enterprise, Cloud Security and Governance. And then there's another bookcase over here. So here we go. DevOps. We've got the book about site reliability engineering. We've got migrating applications to the cloud with Azure. We've got VMware cross-cloud architecture. A lot of different books covering a lot of specific topics. The problem that I had was that I could not find just one book that really covered all these different multi-cloud platforms. I could not find just one book about and AWS and Azure and Google Cloud and VMware. It simply didn't exist. And if it exists, it's always about developing applications so that you can deploy to any of these clouds, which is fine. These are very good books. Packt has a number of these books in their collection, all very recommendable. But there was not just one book that really covered the multi-cloud from an infrastructure and architecture principle. So that's the reason that I started writing that book. And I already noticed in a very early stage that there was a reason that such a book didn't exist. First of all, it's pretty hard to cover all these different topics in just one book. Second, developments and innovations within all these different cloud platforms are going so fast that it's almost impossible to keep up during the writing. So yes, there will be a second edition, an improved one, hopefully within now and let's say a year. So how do I do it? Well, if you try to book that covers all these different aspects of multi-cloud, then you have to chop it up into sections. So that's what I did. So section 1, and it's actually on my screen. There it is. Section 1 is about introduction to architecture and governance for multi-cloud. Then there is a second section that covers the basic operations, and that's about creating landing zones, managing landing zones, deploying virtual machines, but also containers to multi-cloud environments. And it all covers Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, VMware, etc. Then there is a part about security, very important. Moving to the cloud does not mean that you're moving automatically to a very secure platform. Yes, the platforms are secure, but yes, they do provide you with a toolbox, and it's up to you what you do with the toolbox, or with the tools. Then there is a part about financial operations, FinOps. So how do we keep control of costs in our multi-cloud environment? And then there is a part about DevOps, and the last part of the book is about artificial intelligence operations. I do think that will become very important over the forthcoming years. So there's a separate chapter on AI ops tooling. The last chapter of the book is about site reliability engineering, and something I'm really a big fan of. So I had to take that with me in the book as well. So at the end of the day, you have, I hope, a pretty complete picture on how you do architecture, how do you design environments for multi-cloud environments, Also covering security, also covering financials, covering governance, basic operations, the whole thing. And it's done, it's ready, it's out there, ready to be printed. And I hope you, first of all, you buy it, you read it, and I would very much appreciate it if you leave a comment or a review, or both, on Amazon.com, for instance, so that I can actually improve the next editions. Hope to see you. Bye-bye.